Guys, this is the Rainbow Loomer. I'm going to teach you how to make pictures like this one here. Now this one, I didn't think it looked very good because it was kind of grainy, I guess. So today I'm going to double the bands when I make it. So you need 2 or 1 looms. Well, I like to use 2 because it's easier, but you can use 1 and do the whole transfer thing. And a drawing of what you're going to make out of a picture. Today I'm going to do 8-bit Mario, and as you see, his dimensions are he is 12 by 18 pixels. So you need so if you want to take a picture of him now and print it out and use it to do your thing with then that's all right. So first, if you want to do this, you have to start out looming on the very top, right here, the first 3 pixels. So so start on the first 3 pixels and go all the way down. Count how much they are and just place them as so. So for me, I have 11 whites, 1 red, 3 yellows, and then 2 whites and a black. So I'm gonna start. So you're gonna first, as you see over here, you're gonna place your band starting at the top where it corresponds with the picture. So 2 bands here. Remember, two bands. Put them together down here, and then you repeat all the way down. Stop. Okay, as you see, I'm almost done. Okay, now I'm done. You see that I've copied this grid exactly with 11 whites, 1 red, 3 yellows, 2 whites, and a black. So now I'm just gonna repeat the whole thing again on these two rows. Okay, as you see, I'm pretty close to done now. So after this, we're gonna place our clear little hold it together bands. So you're gonna have to place one on 3 pegs horizontally, like this. And I know it's kind of hard to see because it's clear, but so you're gonna place one horizontally on every horizontal line of 3 pegs. So continue this all the way down the loom, and this is pretty quick and fast to do, but you don't really have to use 2 looms for this kind of thing. You can always use 1 and transfer, but I like to use 2 because it's a lot easier. But if you don't feel like spending another $17, then just use 1 and transfer. Okay, so now we're nearing the end of this, and once you're done, you're gonna do something very odd with the bands, but it's required for transferring it to one another, as we'll be transferring this to the loom again about 4 times, like this way. Okay, so now I'm done. You can just push it down with your hook. If your hook isn't so fortunate to be a thin one like mine, well, I think a regular rainbow loom hook can fit in these kind of gaps and stuff. So push all the bands down. It'll help a lot. Maybe a rainbow loom regular hook doesn't fit, or whatever. Just use like a pencil or something. Those work well. Push it down sideways too. I know for sure the rainbow loom fits with that one. Okay, I have everything pushed down. So now you're just gonna take a single band, no, nothing, and just place it on the peg. No stretching whatsoever. Just place one on the peg all the way down. Now this might seem a little weird, but it's required. Yeah, it's required. Or else when you take it up, or else when you transfer to a new one and take it off, this thing's gonna fall apart. So just put it on the edge. It'll help a lot. It's actually mandatory. You might need to get like a whole new pack of clears because this stuff uses it a lot. But you could also use white, I guess. Although it doesn't look as professional. Okay. Actually, you actually don't need a little horizontal connector clear band at the end, or a little transfer, because that is where we're gonna connect it all C clips, if you have them, or S clips, or whatever kind of clips. I like C clips. Okay, so now we're ready to begin hooking. Yay! Okay. So, first step, I like to hook the row with the regular bands hanging out first because that's the hardest and I like to take care of things. So as you can see, start off by pulling back this clear horizontal band, grabbing the two black bands underneath, and I think you should hold it with your hand or something, and pull it up and over. It's going to be really loose, which is what makes it hard. But you can deal with that, I think. Well, yeah. And then repeat over here. It should be easier because it's tighter now. Be sure not to let any of these things fall off. If they do, just put them back on. And then grab these blues over here. And blues. Yellows. See, I accidentally grabbed this clear one. Just take it off your hook with your hand or something. Red. Red. And yeah, I'll be back once I finish looming all this. Okay, as you see, I've just finished filming this whole row back here. So now that everything's filmed, it should look like this, and just give these bands a tug back here. Tug, tug, tug. Tug every one of them. Well, you don't have to, it helps though, to distinguish them from the other clear bands when you're taking this off the loom. Oh, and if you're confused by all of this, except for these little bands at the end back here, these things. If you're confused by everything else, I suggest you go watch a video on the triple stingle. I'll have it in the links below. And so now that we're done with this and everything tugged out and all smooth and stuff, just push it down again. It won't, this one's not really necessary, but I like to do it for neatness. And if your loom starts to bounce off at this point, ignore it, it's gonna bounce off. Can't stop that. Okay, so now that we've all pushed it down, we can continue with the second and third rows, which are really boring, exactly the same thing. Except for these pegs back here. They tend to get really loose. So just deal with the looseness for now. And everything will sort out. They're kind of hard to get back up once you've dropped them. So, okay, I finally got that pesky rubber band back up. Okay, so I'm done now. So I've finished the first row, go and clear all the rest of the rows. You know, I'm gonna stop here and do this row, but last row back here to make it easier. And see, I've just dropped it again. Okay, and then grab the 2 whites down here. And then the other 2 whites and add the usual repeat process to end of loom. Okay, I'll just cut here and resume again once I'm done looming all of this. Okay, so I'm finally done looming all of this. As you can see, this thing over here, this loom pattern matches exactly with these first 3 rows back here. So now we're gonna do the fun part. But first, darn it, Baba, end the video.
Hey?
You just ended the video. You just ended. Okay, as you see, I've done looming all this. It fits with the first 3 columns of this ugly made Mario picture. So everything matches perfectly. So now we're gonna do the fun part, securing it with C-clips, and S-clips, or whatever you like, and taking it off the loom. So first, we're gonna have to put a C-clip on each one of these last 3 rows. One there, and then take it off. And put another one right here. And not cooperating. Put another one right there. And then take the last one, and you guessed it, put it on this edge. So now that we're done putting it on, we can actually take this part off the loom. It'll look really bad with all this extra band sticking out and all the C-clips, but it'll look like a decent picture, at least. Well, the first 3 lines of a decent simple picture. Ooh. This is basically really a double, triple, single transferred 4 times to make a picture, but yeah, that's why I recommended the triple single video down in the description below. Okay, now we're peeling this thing off the loom. Oh wait, if this happens, it will not damage your loom, but it happens. So keep on taking it off, and voila, you have something that looks like this, as you can see. Now once you're done doing all of this, kind of pull out these edge sides, pull them out a bit, so you could be nice and easy for the next time you'll transfer it. So if your loom fell apart, unfortunately, like mine here, just take, so you can see, count 3 pegs, and then actually count 5 pegs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And take the last row of this and stick it in the 5th one. And then just put this one back to back across of that. Push down. There, you're ready for the next one. So now you have the arrow facing away from you, and you can start the looming process over again from the top. So I have I have 2 whites, 2 reds, 3 blacks, 2 yellows, 3 reds, 4 blues, and 2 whites, and 2 whites, 2 reds, 1 black, 1 yellow, 1 black, 2 yellows, 3 blues, 1 yellow, 3 blues, 2 whites, and then 2 whites, 2 reds, 5 yellows, 2 reds, 4 blues, and 3 whites. So that's what I'm gonna place on my loom. So I'm gonna start, and I'll be back. Okay, as you see, I just finished this, but if you look closely, I haven't put any of the clear horizontal bands on the sides. That's because we're going to do something interesting here. So take your piece you've already made and take the last band that's hanging out on the edge over here and stretch it over these 3. And then keep it there. And then take the second one. I know it's kind of hard to see. Take this second band and then stretch it and put it on there. And just repeat this all the way till the end of the loom. I know it's kind of hard, and your original portion will get slightly stretched out. Well, not slightly, very stretched out. But no need to worry, that's perfectly normal. And I'll stop here and show you the end result. Okay, so this is a finished result with it looking something like this, and your original piece is going to be stretched out a lot, and don't mind that. So once you're done doing that, just push all the bands down. It'll help a lot later. Just push them down. I mean, you don't have to do this, but it'll help a lot when you're placing the bands. And once you're done pushing it down, take your clear band and just as before, lay it on the edge, no stretching. And so you're just gonna do this all the way to the end of the loom, like again. Except don't put it on the last one like before, or it won't look so good. And soon we're gonna be ready to loop it and take it off the loom again. Yeah. So make sure you haven't skipped any. Just mentally check over it. Okay, so I'm nearing the end, and once I get to the end, be sure not to put one on this last one back here, because you're gonna end up like having to cut it off or something. So now we're ready to loop. So as usual, start from this. Okay, you see my naughty little one fell off. If it falls off, just put it back on. So start from this one, and I like to start from this very edge where all the loose ends are, and hold it down so none of them fall off. And there, I looped the first one. And so just dig in and grab those 2 bottom ones. And if this thing flips up, just pull it down and ignore. See, I got them again, and this one fell off, just put it back on. And then from here on, it should be pretty easy, just simple grab and loop. Grab and loop. I'll be back with you when this is done. Okay, so as you see, I just finished that row. So we're just gonna go and take it and pull out every one of them again. So it'll be easier to identify once we pull this off the loom. And then as usual, after you're done pulling, that is, just some of them can be a little hard to pull. Okay, so after you're done pulling, just take your hook. I think a normal rainbow loom hook should do this. And just push down. Okay, now that everything's pushed down, we can proceed with looping these 2 rows. Now, they're not very hard, but the first two bands are. See, they become really loose and tend to look very floppy. So just ignore them for now. And once you've finished looping the first two bands, everything should become quite easy after that. I'll just go loop this row just to show. It's gonna be super duper loose with like no resistance, so it might look like you might have to use your hand for that one. It's really hard, especially when the bands fall off. Just push them down with your thumb and hold them there. So I'll be back once I'm done looping this row. Okay, so as you see, I just finished doing all this. So just like push down the bands, and once you're done pushing it down, just secure the last ends with C-clips or whatever you like to use. So take a C-clip, put it here. Take a C-clip, put it there. And take your last C-clip and put it in the little middle one. Hard to reach. It might take you several tries. Okay, now that you've clipped everything, you're ready to take it off again. So I like to start with this last band back here. So I've taken off that and just whee. And once I have about 2 rows taken off, then I can just pull from it with my remaining hands and just take it off the loom. And the loom fell off again. So just take it off, and you might need to just do that. It might be easier. Be sure not to leave any rubber bands behind, like these strays back here. Just loop them back up. So I'm almost done taking it off. Your loom might fall apart in this taking off process. So they get really attached to the loom. Okay, we've finally taken off everything. And if you find that you haven't attached your C-clips on all right, that's fine, because you can just loop them on once you're done. And even if they did fall, it won't do you much harm. So now we have 1/2 of our project. You might be transferring more than 4 times, but this project we're only going to do 4. So here's a good look at it, and I'll be back to show you the next ones. How to I think you can actually do it from here. You should know how to do it by now, but I'll just show you how to do it. How to transfer 2 more times. Okay. Well, that's it for now. Okay, as you see, I've just finished the next 3 rows of this Mario picture. So now I'm gonna do the usual business again. Take this very last sticker over here and just loop it on the first 3. And take the second one and loop it on the second. The third one to the third. And the fourth one to the fourth. And the 5th one to the 5th, and so on. It's still gonna get stretched, even though there's more bands. It's always gonna get stretched. So you're gonna have to deal with that. And if your bands are snapping, well, they shouldn't be. But if they are, maybe you aren't using the official Rainbow Loom bands. Those shouldn't snap as easily. And remember, if they accidentally get looped over this one, never let them get looped over this second one. Just put it like that. And so, do it all the way up. And once you near the end, remember one thing. Not to put it at the very last one. After all, if you did it correctly, there shouldn't be an extra band for the last one. If you did it right last time. So as we near the end, almost done. Just need a bit more. And 2 more. They tend to snap back on you. Try not to let that happen. 1. And after this, 1 more. Okay. I finished it. All of them are on. Now it's gonna look really stretched and distorted, like this. But that's perfectly alright. You should get used to that. It shall be happening. So once you're done all of this, turn the loom around. And we're gonna be starting looping again. So I'm gonna start with, oh, I forgot one thing. So push it down first. Thing's gonna flop. Don't mind that. So after you pushed it down, I almost forgot to put these bands on. Just take one and slip it over there. I know the clears are kind of hard to see, but they're the best option here. Because white is too wasteful, I guess. It just seems to me that clear should be the one for the job. Okay, we're almost done. So, once you finish putting them on, we are going to begin looping. Remember not to put any on the last one. We'll be securing C clips on the last one, or S clips, whatever you like. I like C clips. Okay, we're done. So, take your hook and grab this. Well, you can grab any of them, but I like to grab this one because it's the hardest to loop, because it gets so loose and the rubber bands are just like, have nothing to restrain them from being free and loose. So remember to hold it down with your hand, that really pesky one, really loose one, as you loop the next band, so it doesn't get in your way, because it likes to get in the way. And be sure not to hook any of the clear bands with it, like I just did. Oh my God. It's kind of hard to get it out once you have it in. So I've looped the bands. It should look a bit something like this. Those two, in my opinion, are the hardest two to loop because they're so struggling and they're so loose. This one's also hard. So now that we've got them past the hardness, I'm going to loop a few more bands and continue to the middle row. And just ignore this side part. Pretend it's not there. Leave it alone. Okay, once you're done, we're ready to go loop the middle ones. And if they fall off, just ignore them. That's what the bands do, they love to fall off. Okay. So just go in and reach out. And this one will be really loose too, so be sure not to have them fall off like mine's just did. So if they fall off, that's alright. Just put them on and then grab in from this side, from under the loom, and just pull it over itself. And do this here. And then this side should not be a problem at all. It has a lot of force restraining it. So just take it out, grab the bottom two blocks, and loop it forward. And now that you have these bands occupying like nothing in the middle, just take off those bands. Okay, I'll be back once I finish looping. Okay, so I've just finished looping all the bands here. So now what we're going to do is secure the end. First push it down. And then secure these parts with C-clips. So grab one and just hook it on all four. Grab, put it on, and then grab and put it on. So now we're ready to take it off the loom once more. So just push it off on the sides. And then grasp your hands on the middle. Just peel. And be sure not to have any loose ends on your thing, or else the bands might snap, because if you put pressure on a band too much, it will snap. And now all of the bands have been looped. Well, not all of them. We still have another section left. So what you want to do at this point is just stretch it out. Just stretch out your little finger here, or whatever you want, or whatever you made. And just slowly pull out. Pull until you have everything pulled. Okay. Now that everything's pulled out and nice and neat, we can begin placing the fourth set of bands. Okay, so we've just finished placing all the bands. So now we're going to do our usual process of taking the little stray over here, putting it on the edge. And so we continue as normal. But there's one thing different about this very last one, and I'll show you it later. So the usual looping process, just stick it, place it on, stick, place it on, stick it, place it on. It starts to get really annoying back here. Just deal with it. It's not going to last much longer. So if your finger gets stuck, that's alright, just pull it out. And there shouldn't be any problem. So we're approaching the end, just a few more left. And again, if your bands snap, you're probably not using the official rainbow loom, because I'm stretching mine a whole lot and they're not snapping. So now, and just straighten it out to make sure you have every last one of the bands. This one looks a little off. See, like, if you like miss a band like me, then it's gonna be really bad because you're just gonna have to take all of these off and start over again. Like this. Just take it off and replace it with the previous one. If you happen to skip a band because you didn't pull it out correctly. Like me. I don't know. So just repeat this process till the end of the loom and everything should be alright. And this time, since it's the last one, don't forget to not place these little, don't forget to not place bands like this, because if you do that, you're gonna have little strands hanging out of your picture, and that's not fun. It looks horrible. I mean, it happened once. I had to take apart the whole thing. So, very often they get stuck. It's so annoying. So, I'm almost done here. And a handy way to make sure you actually put all of the bands up is to count how many bands away from you are the edge. From you. How many bands are away from you. So I can count 2, which means I did something wrong here. So I'm just gonna live this way and it won't hurt at all. So now that we've finished placing the bands, we're ready to loop. Now you might be thinking, what happened to those bands that went like this? Well, you don't need them because they look horrible, as I said earlier. So let's start with hardest first. Take this band and loop it on. Very loose, so very annoying. Put your hand down and then grab those and put it on. And then it should be easy from there. Grab the bottom 2 blues and loop it up and over. And grab up and over. Grab up and over. Grab up and over. And this might be a little hard because it's looping doubly bands. So I recommend you go do an easier thing before trying this. As I said in the beginning, it's sort of hard. Up and over. And try to ignore this. Just pretend like this thing's non-existent. So continue on with your normal looping. And if that thing ever gets in your way, just push it out. It should get really easy near the end because there's no more band to hold you back from looping the next one. Because it's stretched out so tight. Okay, I'm nearing the end here. And then this time I'm just gonna put the C-clip on before. So just snatch, whoop, it's on. Now we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Take those two loose ends. They're so annoying. Just take it up and over. And then take the next one. Up and over. Up and over. Should be quite easy from this point. And we're just about halfway through. Remember, this might not be your last one. So if it's not your last transfer, so if it's not your last, remember to put it on. But for me, I only have 12 columns. So I only need 4 transfers. This is the 4th one, we're almost done. And it might be sort of hard looping these double bands. The rainbow loom hook should be really efficient at doing this. This crochet hook is very small. And if you grab the wrong band, that's alright, just take it and put it back on the regular. See, as I did here, I accidentally forgot to grab one band. So it's great, so just put it back on. Grab this band and stretch the one in front of the one. And now you see that I've forgotten to grab this little band back here. Take your hook inside and stick it in there and reach for that one band. Reach for it until you might want to use your hand to help. Until you finally got it and take it with you. Up and over. And there, see, I've successfully fixed what might have been a fatal error. So, up and over. And last one, for this row at least. There, just now attach the C-clip. The C-clip doesn't want to cooperate. Now the very last one. This one should be easy because there's no loose ends. Except for the very first one. Except it's not as loose as all the other ones. They're so annoying. You're going to have to learn to get around them. And once we're done looping this, we are almost ready to take it off the loom. But don't take it off just yet, for it might damage, it will ruin your project, and ruining projects is not fun. You're gonna have to start over again. So, almost there. Just a few more bands. 2 more bands. 1. And there. Secure that very last band with a C-clip. be sure the C-clip actually grabs all 4 bands or layers, I guess, and take it off the loom. This is the hard yet fun part where my loom just breaks apart on me like that. You can see little Mario forming here. And there, I have just created a picture. I've just created a Mario using pictures. And you can create whatever you like using these pictures, but I decided to create a Mario here. So I'll be giving this away or not soon. So like and subscribe. Bye.